3 months after my grandfather died, I stood in the middle of my living room surrounded by towers and cartons of books that had just been delivered from his house. Dust motes danced in the rays of sunshine that streamed through the window, and the air smelled of old paper and memories. I picked up a book, a worn copy of Chinua Achebe's Things Fall Apart, and as I ran my hand along the spine, I thought about the man who had given this book to me. My grandfather, Chief Ubo Udobia. He was a stubborn man, so stubborn that it took him 3 days to die. And in those 3 days, he set his affairs in order and bequeathed his entire library to me.
Why are you giving her these books?
My father asked, his voice carrying that sharp edge of criticism that I'd become used to all my life.
She's not even using her law degree. And she's not even using the diploma that she got in literature. So what does she need these books for? She's just an executive assistant.
Just an executive assistant. Those words stung, as his words always did. But Grandpa had coughed hard and then said to him,
"Look here, Umo, I gave my books to my granddaughter. When your turn comes, you can give your own to the woman that fries akara.
My father frowned. He had never quite understood our relationship, that of me and Grandpa. You see, my grandfather was known to be a hard man. His anger was said to be quiet but lethal, and his forgiveness was almost impossible to get. They said he ruled his home with an iron fist and he didn't suffer fools gladly. So my father was surprised that my grandfather was gentle with me, that he never scolded or raised his voice at me, that he allowed me to eat with him and we would talk for hours. He said that old age had made my grandfather soft and he was spoiling us, his grandchildren. Despite the things that they said about him, my grandfather and I, we understood each other perfectly. With him, my thoughts, my feelings, and my dreams were never inconsequential. Unlike with my father, Dr. Umo Udobia. He was a rigid and unwavering man. He approached parenting the same way that he approached medicine, with clinical precision and no room for sentiments, as he would say. Growing up, I learned that my father's words were final, that questioning his decision was disrespectful, and that my feelings and thoughts were irrelevant to the important business of properly raising a child.
You will study law,
he declared one day when I turned 16 and mentioned my love for literature. He said,
"Writers in this country are poor and hungry. It is not a vocation for serious people, so you will study law."
So I studied law, but I was unhappy. When I left legal practice and began to work as an executive assistant and a freelance writer on the side, he didn't talk to me for months. He would introduce me to his colleagues with the words,
"This is my daughter Itoro. She has a law degree, but she arranges meetings for a living."
I shook off the gloomy thoughts and began to sort the books by category: fiction here, non-fiction there, books and documents over there. I was on the 3rd carton when I saw them. 18 leather-bound notebooks, the covers worn smooth by years of handling. I opened one and immediately recognized Grandpa's careful handwriting. Personal Reflections was written on the first page, followed by Private, not for general consumption in English, and then the same warning in Ibibio. I hesitated. Should I read it? This was meant to be private. But then I remembered that Grandpa was gone and they were mine now. So I picked up one and I opened to the first entry dated January 17, 1967. It read,
"Today is one of those days that I wish I could close my eyes in sleep and never wake up again. I have 7 mouths to feed in this house and 3 more are coming as I have decided to take possession of my widowed sister's children. This military government is not even helping matters. They keep enacting bad decrees and things are getting worse. This morning, I shouted at my wife when she brought the list of foodstuff. Everything is so expensive. Even with the yams and other vegetables and chickens from her farm and poultry, I don't know how much longer we can continue like this. Sometimes I wish I had religion, that I could pray to a God somewhere and he or she would help me. But life does not work like that. My father taught me that much. And these things that I write in this book are things I cannot share with anyone. I can only record my thoughts here in these pages and hope that it will bring me some form of relief. It is hard to be a man in this world.
Intrigued, I flipped several pages, my eyes quickly scanning the words. I found another entry dated January 15, 1980.
Today, my first son, Umar, graduated with a first class in medicine and surgery. I was so happy that I hugged him and I told him I'm proud of him. But the boy just stood there, stiff as a soldier on the parade ground. I was surprised at his look of shock, as if I have never hugged him before, or he was expecting me to say something else, even though I've never hugged him before. And if he had had a different result, I would have definitely said something else. But that look on his face has bothered me all day. I don't know if I'm angry or pained. Why did he react like that? I have treated him and his siblings better than my father did to me. When I was his age, I passed with distinction. But Papa did not smile, neither did he congratulate me. Because my success was expected, not to be celebrated. My failure was always met with strokes of the cane and lectures about bringing shame to the family and wasting the time of the missionaries who taught me. I think I have done better. I don't beat them as much as my father used to beat me. And when they do exceptionally well, I tell them so. You know what? I'm angry. Umar had no right to react the way he did.
I sank into an armchair, hand clasping the diary. So Grandpa had had feelings like this? I would never have believed it. He had always seemed so certain and so self-assured, like he could do no wrong. I picked up another diary and opened to a random page. July 25, 1987.
My second daughter, Aniebet, got married today. But she was not excited like brides usually are. As I watched her standing at the altar, so serious and composed, I thought about all the conversations we never had, all the things I wanted to say, but I never did. You know, I wanted to have a father-daughter talk with her before the wedding, but I could not bring myself to do it. I can't explain how hard it is for me to put these feelings into words. I don't understand them. Maybe if I did, I would be able to say them. The truth is, sometimes I'm ashamed that I feel them because this is not the way I was raised. Could this be old age?